We literally just recorded this video. Only we discovered we weren't recording it.
Yep.
And the way we're going to react at this is by singing the theme song. Pa 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 pa.
Hannah and Clay had an intimate moment. Hannah, Courtney backstabbed Hannah.
Boom.
All right.
And we're gonna go fast because yeah. And so it starts with a very sweet moment between Clay and Hannah.
Yeah.
And they're dancing.
Yeah. So basically, what happened is Clay was staring at Hannah, and Hannah was staring at Clay, and they were at a school dance. Yes. It was like a Christmas winter type dance. It was themed like that.
Winter formal.
Yeah, and basically, Clay didn't want to go up to her and approach her and ask if they wanted to dance because he was nervous and introverted. But
I totally can see you doing that. It's kind of like your personality. You're pretty shy too.
Yeah. So basically what happened is one of his friends encouraged him to go up to Hannah. So he ended up going to Hannah, and it was very sweet, and he asked her to dance, and she said yes, and they ended up having a very, very sweet moment.
And all of a sudden, dun 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 dun.
Da, da, da.
Dun, 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 dun. What happens?
Hannah ends up bleeding.
Both her arms.
Yeah, and she begs Clay for help, and guess what happens? Courtney backstabbed her with a knife.
Literally. Damn.
Horrible scene. It was a dream.
Only a dream.
And Clay ended up waking up, sweating.
Yep. And wanted to do his own laundry, but his mom didn't let him.
Yeah.
So fast forward, we go to school.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk, this episode is all about Courtney.
Yeah. Courtney and Hannah.
Backstabbing Hannah, right?
Yeah.
And so what happens?
So what happens at school is, I don't know, and sorry.
So in the tape, Hannah tells the story about how she got Clay enrolled for the dance, and then Hannah enrolled for the dance, and they weren't very sure about it. And then Hannah has been trying to talk to Courtney because remember they got drunk, and then the picture was taken, and then Hannah has been trying to connect with Courtney, but Courtney's ignoring her. So Hannah approaches Courtney, and he says, "Why are you ignoring me? And let's be friends." And Courtney says, "Yeah, let's be friends. Let's go to the winter formal together." And then they go.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty nice moment. You know, Hannah's dad gets her a corsage. And
yeah, they were acting like actual friends without being drunk.
Exactly. And Hannah is dressed really beautifully, and she has a beautiful corsage, and you can see her parents beaming. I can relate to that because Astrid just was someone's prom date like around a year ago or something like that. And it was a really exciting moment seeing her get dressed and looking all pretty.
And also Hannah's parents actually bought her a new car.
Yeah, they kind of changed the lease and
specifically for the dance to show off,
so that she would impress her friends.
Yeah.
You know, JC, if your friendship on someone depends on what car you're driving,
you shouldn't be friends with them.
You shouldn't be friends. Yeah, that's a pretty good indication that that's not a good friendship, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's fast forward. You're at the dance.
Yeah.
This is the real dance. This is no longer the nightmare.
And so basically what happens is Clay stares at Hannah, and Hannah stares at Clay, and Clay is introverted, so he doesn't want to go up to Hannah and ask her to dance with him. So one of his friends encourages him to go up to Hannah. So he goes up to Hannah and asks her to dance. And the song is very, very pop and rock like. So they like jokingly jump and run around and have fun.
It's actually a refreshing moment in the movie, right?
Yeah.
Where they're just being kids. Yeah. A good reminder that you can have fun without being drunk, without being in drugs, without groping each other, without any sexual under or overtones. You can be happy as a kid, having fun, right?
Yeah.
And then they play the slow music.
Yes.
And
they have a very sweet moment.
I love that he is looking around him, kind of to take cues from other boys on what to do because he's so quiet. And then he looks at other kids, and most of them are touching the girls on their butt. By the way, if you're a girl and you're dancing with someone and he's touching your butt, move their hand up. Respect yourself, ladies. And boys too, but you know. But Clay doesn't do it. He looks at everybody doing it and he decides to do his own thing. Which reminds me, do your own thing.
Do your own thing.
Don't do what others do.
Yeah.
Right? Don't be part of the big group. Stand alone if you have to, but do the right thing.
Do what you feel is right.
Absolutely. Speaking of doing what's right, Courtney doesn't do what's right because someone approaches her in the party and starts harassing her with the picture, and then Courtney responds by
spreading a rumor.
a false rumor.
False rumor.
About Hannah.
Yes.
So Hannah and Clay are having this very special moment dancing together, and all of a sudden this guy approaches her with the rumors that Courtney has started, and Hannah, as always, gets really angry, overreacts, and I guess I would have been angry if I had been her too, right? And people have been creating bad rumors about me, but she leaves Clay, and a very special moment with Clay goes and confronts Courtney.
Yeah. Cusses her out.
Yep.
Cusses her out, which is always an immature way to do things. Do not cuss someone out. Handle things maturely.
Yeah. I have to say that the one thing that I love that Hannah did is she was really angry, but then she saw, what's the name of the girl?
Courtney?
No, the other one, the one that was really drunk.
Jessica.
She sees Jessica getting really, really drunk, and she rescues Jessica, puts her in her car, and is going to take her home.
Which is definitely the right thing to do.
The right thing to do. She's trying to help a friend. Girls, if you don't want to find yourself being raped or in a situation where someone disrespects you, you might not want to get drunk to the point of not being sober and not knowing what's happening, right? Yeah. Now, if we move from the past into the present, now Clay and Courtney are in the cemetery.
Yeah.
And Clay basically tells Courtney, hey, you've been treating Hannah's death as if it was a school activity.
And also, Clay shows Courtney that
the grave
does not have Hannah's name in it
yet.
Mm-hmm. It usually takes a few months if it's sudden. That's what Clay stated.
Exactly. And when Courtney says, "Oh, this is such a nice place," what does Clay do?
He gets really mad because that's not the right thing to say in a situation like this.
Absolutely. And he confronts her with her backstabbing Hannah. And Courtney says that she did it because she was scared and she didn't know what to do. And it's so hard to be the daughter of two gay men. You have no idea what I've been dealing with for so long. But is that a justification? Nope, absolutely not. Obviously, without going into details, because we believe that someone's sexual orientation is God-given, and this is not about talking about gay, or that's not what the purpose of this tape. That really is between you and God. But the point is that being angry or being upset or being scared for people to find out who you really are doesn't give you an excuse to create false rumors about somebody else, right?
Right.
And a good way to deal with what Courtney was feeling, the pressure of that, I think we have a fantastic example, JC.
So, basically what is happening is at my school, people are calling me gay for my hairstyle and for how I act, because I don't like young dating and I don't mess around with girls. But basically every boy at the school wants to have a girlfriend. It's kind of weird and bizarre because every single one of them are really immature. I'm not gonna lie. So I'm getting called gay for not wanting to have a girlfriend. And yeah, so the way I deal with that is I handle the situation maturely.
He came to me.
Yeah.
And he was feeling pretty angry about it because you're straight, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he wanted to change his hairstyle so that people stop talking about that. But I told him, Jace, if you're going to change your hairstyle, change it because You want it, and not because you're trying to convince anybody that you're nothing they're saying that you are, because in reality, he's straight, and it really doesn't matter how his hair is. People will always create false rumors. It's what kids do. And the best way to handle it is by doing what he did, which goes in tandem with the topic of our series, which is speaking up. He spoke up and he allowed me to help him process that. And as a result, what are you doing?
Wait, what?
What are you doing with your hair?
Uh, I am doing it as my own decision because I don't like the way it is right now because all it is tied up like this. And I kind of want to do something like funky with it and
Kind of change.
kind of change it, like show it out more, I guess.
Yeah.
So I might be going to one of my mom's friends to get some advice on what to do with my hair, and we'll see what happens.
But you're going to do it because you like it and not
Because,
because you're trying
yeah.
to convince. You know, one of the things I told JC is before his dad married me, he was 36, I was 29. And several people were asking him if he was gay too, because at 36 he wasn't married. Well, he wasn't. He married me, and here we are 20 some years later. So in reality, let people think whatever they're going to think. At the end of the day, you do you, and don't allow people's rumors to define who you are, and much less to drive you to suicide, as is the case with 13 Reasons Why, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us how the episode ends.
So the episode ends with Clay driving his bike to his house, I'm assuming, and a car consisting of...
Oh, I'm sorry. Justin, Bryce, and Alex. Yes. They stop him.
Yeah, they stop him, and they get out of the car. They stop him in a police style, like they pull him over, basically.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, unbelievable. And
they kind of cut him off.
Yeah, they cut him off, and they force him to get into the car. They're like, "Oh, come on, get into the car, or else I'm gonna do something to you." And
like gangsters.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And obviously he would have gotten beaten up if he didn't get in the car. So he got into the car. If I was in that situation, I would definitely try to run away and call the cops.
Yep.
But this is Clay.
And 13 Reasons Why.
Yeah. So he gets into the car, and they end up speeding. Alex ends up speeding as fast as he can, and they tell Clay to stop messing with them and stop like saying bad stuff about them and stuff. And he ends up saying, "Okay, I'll stop."
He's really scared.
And then Alex keeps on speeding until a cop car comes up to them, and he lets them go because he recognizes Alex, and Alex's dad is actually a cop.
Yeah.
So the police officer let him off the hook for this one time.
And then the kids say, "See, Clay, we are untouchable. You can do anything to us because Alex's dad is a police." Like, I have news for you kids. Big men have fallen. People that thought they were untouchable have been touched. So you're definitely not untouchable just because Alex's dad happens to be a cop. But that's what they say. And Clay obviously believes them, because when he gets home, his mom tells him that the school has retained her to be the attorney for the school. And his mother asks, do you know if Hannah Baker was bullied? Do you know? And Clay lies.
Yeah.
And he says that he didn't know Hannah. He didn't know what was happening at school. It's really sad because he's been given the opportunity to speak up, and he just won't.
Yeah.
And then we see him in the bathroom taking a shower, and he's crying his heart out.
Yeah, he broke down.
Yeah, he's going through a lot. He's very scared, but he's not allowing someone like his parents who love him and want the best for him to actually help him in this situation, right?
Yep.
And it's pretty sad.
Yeah. Speak up.
Speak up.
If you are considering suicide, please don't put the suicide.
If you're being bullied,
yeah,
threatened,
yeah, speak up. Tell the authorities. Tell your parents. Tell the administrators. If you're really considering suicide, We'll put the suicide hotline number on the screen now.
And remember, your parents may not be cool, but they love you and they can help you. Right?
Yep.
There's nothing wrong in speaking up. It's the best thing to do.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Speak up. Bye.
Bye.
Take care.